And hello and good evening and welcome inside the Gulke Activity Center. It's time for MACU Lady Evangels basketball here on MACUathletics.com. Alex, we've been joined with Destin Adams tonight as the Lady Evangels will take on the Evangel Crusaders. First ever matchup between these two teams. It'll be an early season test for the Lady Evangels. Coming off a blowout win in their season opener, 1-0 on the year for Evangel. This is going to be their first game of the season, so the Lady Evangels a bit of an advantage having one game under their belts already, but as we'll discuss, Lady Evangel's going to be a bit short-handed tonight. A couple of the regulars still injured. And for Evangel, again, a team like MACU, winning record last year, ultimately did not get to the NAIA tournament, and we will see how this one plays out here tonight. So Destin Adams will be joining me throughout the broadcast tonight. Destin had a chance to take in the Lady Evangel's first game a week ago tonight against Manhattan Christian. A blowout win probably as expected, but what are some of the things that stood out to you from that performance?
I think it's really important to note that this Mid-America Christian University team this year just seems to be deeper than years past, and I think Coach Hannah Muller kind of went out and recruited that fashion. I think you saw that in that game because they got to go to their second unit, even their third unit at times, and they were still firing on all cylinders offensively, which is why you saw us break the school record for most points in a game.
8 players in double figures. I don't know if I've ever really heard of that before. 8 players in double figures in that game of the 10 who played in that final score of 130-39, as Destin just mentioned, setting a school record for most points in a single game to be set last year against Bacone. So, again, an early test for the Lady Evangels here against Evangel out of Springfield, Missouri. We will have the starting lineups of the tip when we come back. This is MACUathletics.com. And here tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Evangel Crusaders. They'll have Lexi Vaught, an NAIA All-American last year, 5'9" senior out of Crane, Missouri, joined by Kylie Moore, a 5'5" senior guard from Crane, Missouri. Brianna Volts, a 5'9" sophomore guard from Opie, Kansas. Bailey Harmon, a 5'10" sophomore from Walnut Grove, Missouri. And Amber Lambert, another 5'10" forward, senior from Crane, Missouri. The Crusaders head coach is Megan Lusinger in her second season. She's assisted by Alan Wilson and Paige Wilson. And for the Lady Evangels in the backcourt, we start Sydney Wyckoff, a sophomore from Ankeny, Iowa. Rachel Tapp, senior from Houston. Lexi Hernandez, a junior from Canyon, Texas. The forwards, Laura Leigh Salinga, is a 5'11" senior from Oakland, California. And Alexis Shannon, the team leader, a 5'11" senior from Noblesville, Indiana. The head coach of the Lady Evangels is Hannah Moeller in her fourth season, assisted by Kelsey Dunn and Logan Clark. And it is the first ever meeting between these two schools. And Evangel, I got to tell you, they traveled well here tonight down to Oklahoma City, coming from Springfield, Missouri. A lot of talent on this roster from small towns all throughout southwestern Missouri, including 3 who all played together in the same class at Crane High School in Crane, Missouri. More on that coming up in a little bit. Evangels again 1-0 on the season, coming off a blowout 130-39 over Manhattan Christian a week ago tonight. It'll be Salinga tipping things off against Votes at center court. The Evangels will be in their home uniforms. Got some new ones this year. Mid-America across the front in gray letters outlined in red. White numbers on the front and back outlined in red, along with white shorts for the Evangel Crusaders. They have their maroon road jerseys, Evangel on the front, and white letters, white numbers on the front and back, and maroon shorts. Might be a little confusing tonight. The Evangels against Evangel.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure to get those school titles out there.
We're going to re-tip the jump. So again, it'll be Salinga going against Votes here. And we are now underway as it is controlled by the Crusaders. Now Harmon on the left side, giving off to Moore. Now Lander over to Harmon on the right side, dribbles in with a left. Finds the versatile Lexi Vaught, who last year averaged over 16 points per game, and she makes the first bucket of the season for Evangel to take the 2-0 lead.
That's a nice post move there. It's hard to defend that if you can spin that well under the basket.
Wyckoff to the rim, left side, off the glass and in. Both teams getting a shot at the bucket in their first offensive possession.
One of the things Coach Moeller loves about Sydney Wyckoff is that she plays so strong, as if she's a big, even though she's a smaller guard.
Certainly impressed as a freshman. Harmon's three-pointer off the mark. Long rebound loose. A foul is going to be called. It is going to be whistled on the Lady Evangels. Lexi Hernandez picks it up, her first and the team's first. Last year, Evangel going 19-11 overall, 14 in the Heart of America Athletic Conference. They started off 5-0, ended with a 7-game win streak in the regular season as the inbounds pass tipped out of bounds past the baseline, but in between, they were just 7-10, lost in the first round of their conference tournament.
Yeah, definitely probably looking to get a hot start here against a team like the Mid-America Christian University Evangels this year, already receiving votes.
Now, speaking of Votes, there is Votes. Gets it in the middle of the lane as Brianna Votes hits a turnaround shot to give Evangel a 4-2 lead. Talking with Coach Moeller earlier today, says Evangel, they are going to press, they're going to change up their defensive looks. As Taps goes to the basket, goes up and got fouled.
If that first game is any correlation on how Rachel Taps is going to play here in the NAIA coming in, she's really aggressive, tries to get to the basket when the ball's in her hands. And you've kind of already seen that here.
Brianna Votes picks up the personal. Her first, the team's first. Rachel Taps, a transfer out of Texas A&M Kingsville, hates the first free throw. And talking with Coach Moeller today The line she used regarding Rachel Tapps felt like she didn't get a fair shot at Texas A&M Kingsville, and is a better player than maybe the numbers would indicate. So welcome addition here in her final year of eligibility, makes both free throws and ties up the game at 4-4.
The interesting matchup here that I think Evangel has so far, they've not gone to it yet, is I really feel like they have the height over this MACU team, especially when they get into the depth of the lineup.
Got a travel whistle underneath along the baseline as Kylie Moore and her feet slip. And the turnover will go to the Evangels. Now, granted, Evangel much tougher than Manhattan Christian, but the Lady Evangels forced 32 turnovers in that game against Manhattan Christian. An early 4-4 tie, minute and a half into this game. And a bump going to be called on Harmon, her first and the team's second.
I think that's kind of a part of Coach Muller's defense, though, as a whole, trying to get that press going, force turnovers early, a lot of fast break points is what helps Muller's offense.
Man-to-man defense by the Crusaders early on tonight. First touch for Shannon, left wing, giving it off to Tapps. Tapps driving in against Lander. Hesitation move to the basket, left it short, ball loose underneath the basket, and a held ball is called. Possession will be with the Lady Evangels. Lady Evangels last season winning another NCCAA National Championship, second consecutive one, 25-9 overall, 14-8 in conference, 13-2 here at the Galkey Activity Center. As Shannon gets the pass from Tapps, cutting the basket, and Shannon's got her first points tonight to give MACU its first lead. Right back the other way, though. Votes gets behind the defense, gets the feed from Vaught, and it ties the game at 6-6. Wyckoff bring it up the far side for the Lady Evangels with under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tapps the handoff to Hernandez. Thought about the shot, driving right, stopping right block. Looking to give it off to someone. Ball gets poked loose, and now Hernandez with the dribble again. And a holding call going to be called on Lander with Tapps cutting the basket.
We've not seen the Lady Evangels here of MACU go at this much today, but they usually love to put up three-point attempts. Last game putting up, I believe, 32, and that being a lopsided game, like Alex has said multiple times here. But they always do like to get the three-point attempts going. The more that they put up, the more likely some are going to fall.
Lander out, Alexis Roach in. Salinga cannot get the shot to go on the baseline floater. Rolls off the back of the rim. Roach, one of 8 freshmen on the roster, giving it off cross court. Moore lets it go for 3 off the back of the rim. Tapps trying to tack down the long rebound. Able to give it off to Wyckoff on her back. Finds Shannon. The head of the pack goes up, got fouled from behind by Harmon.
Shannon's really good when she gets down under the basket, getting those calls, waiting on the defender. Usually she's able to get the and one there, that time not being able to get that off the glass in time.
That is the second personal on Bailey Harmon, one of the Evangel starters. So it sends Alexis Shannon to the free throw line, where she was a 71% shooter last year, off the mark on the first. Just her usual self, 28 points in the team season opener on 12 of 15 shooting. Harmon comes out, Alexis Coffin coming in. No substitution yet for the Lady Evangels. 7:18 to go in the first quarter. Looking to regain the lead with Alexis Shannon at the line. Enters tonight, 6th all-time in the school scoring books. Unfortunately, comes up empty at the free throw line. Off the rebound for Evangel. More controlling towards midcourt. Guarded tightly by Tapps, staying with her step for step. Feed down in the corner. Now it comes to Votes, working on Salinga. Salinga goes straight up with the defense, but Votes able to power it up over and in. Give Evangel an 8-6 lead.
It's going to be an interesting matchup there under the basket. So far, Votes beating Lorelei currently down there, but I'd like to see if Lorelei responds here soon.
She's got the basket, the ball at the free throw line, driving right. Shoots it up over the glass, and it rolls in after hugging the lip of the rim. That's the game 8-8, so it's 35 left in the first quarter. Wide open shot for Vaught. Outside and able to hit.
I think that's our first three-point attempt.
Well, it's Evangels had a couple of them. That's the first three-point make by either team. Vaught shot about 37% from 3 last season in the All-American campaign. 11-8, Evangel leading. Selena high post, giving it off to Hernandez. She'll look to answer, and it rattles in.
All off-season, Coach Muller was raving on the ability that Lexi was going to have to shoot the ball from anywhere on the court.
5 for 10 in the team's opener from beyond the arc. Vaught stepping through, able to get the shot to go off the glass, off the rim and in.
MACU is going to have to find a way to respond here to Vaughn if she's going to be able to have her way down low like she has so far in this first quarter.
Gannon too strong on the step-through move into the basket. The ball hit out of bounds by the Lady Evangels. Sadie Chisholm will check in for Evangel. Evangel has 8 freshmen on this roster, but it's a very odd mix. They have the 8 freshmen on the roster. They also have their top 2 scorers back, 4 of the top 6 from last year, as well as 5 of the top 7. Roach has it, top of the circle, lost it, poked away by Wyckoff. The tie-up on the floor. It'll stay here with the Crusaders.
Possession stays with the Crusaders.
13-11, the Evangel lead with 5:23 to go here in the first quarter.
That aggression that Sydney Wyckoff shows on the defensive end of the ball is why you saw her get so many minutes as a freshman last year on this Evangel team. I'm really curious to see in this second year if it even picks up like we've seen already today.
Well, the inbound near the MACU bench for Evangel with a 2-point lead.
13 seconds.
13 on the shot clock for the Crusaders. Chisholm giving off left side. Roach's shot off the mark. Rebound tracked along the baseline by Hernandez. Taps will push straight ahead for the Lady Evangels. At the elbow towards the block. Lost her footing and drew contact. Now the Evangel coaching staff thought it was incidental contact, mostly caused by Taps slipping. Now Roach picks up the first team's 5th. That'll put the Lady Evangels in the bonus with 5:06 to go in the quarter.
Look to see MACU attack that 1-and-1 abilities now, being able to cut more to the basket. We've not seen that many three-point attempts from them already today, but it's a big part of their offense. But when they get into these 1-and-1 with 5 minutes, I'd be shocked to see if I don't see girls like Alexis Shannon attack the basket with the ball the rest of this quarter.
Rachel Taps was 3 for 3 at the line in the Lady Evangels opener. Some discussion between 2 of the 3 officials near the Evangel bench. Evangel's head coach is Megan Lusinger in her second season. Again, 1911 in her first year before taking over at Evangel. Was an assistant coach at Valparaiso. Just an incredible decorated playing career, and which really stands as Liberty University, maybe arguably their best player of all time. 8 years playing professionally between the WNBA and Europe, and there appears to be an issue over the lineup sheet that was submitted by Evangel. There's a question about it. Doesn't look like anything.
I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but on the last foul call, he held up a 1-5-15. There wasn't a 15 jersey on the court, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
So obviously there was some kind of issue because a technical foul has been assessed to Evangel. Now, they do have a 15 on the roster, Bailey Harmon, one of their starters who exited the game. That last personal was on Alexis Roach, who's been in the game the last few minutes. So I'm not sure if there was a discrepancy between the official roster that was submitted and the one we have up here, but Sydney Wyckoff able to take advantage, make both technical free throws, and now they'll resume play with Taps of the free throw line. Nothing but net on her first attempt. Well, we've seen Evangel already sub in a lot already, rotating players 5 minutes in. Lady Evangels yet to make a substitution. Oh, it ends up being a 4-point trip. They convert all 4 free throws and go in front 15-13.
I'm sure it's just how we drew it up going on that side of the court.
Chisholm going to her left. Giving it off to Coffin, lost it, got it back, finds a cutting Lander at the basket and lays it in. Basically all of Evangel's points is coming right at the rim. They're only on tonight. It is a 15-15 tie with 4:40 to go in the first quarter. Shannon spinning to her left, changing direction, floating, but too strong off the back of the rim. Bought the rebound for the Crusaders. Now Peels on the left corner, or left elbow, I should say. Chisholm finding Roach, left-handed dribble drive to the basket, fouled and down it. Alexis Roach, freshman out of Farmington, Arkansas, gets the basket and the foul. It is on Hernandez, her second and the team's second. So that's going to force a substitution for the Lady Evangels.
I was interested to see if a move was going to get made here soon by MACU, just for this fact that like I said earlier, the height of this second unit of Evangel is just overpowering even the starting lineup right now for the smaller guards.
Roach missed the free throw. No one down there to try and even attempt to rebound, and now a turnover committed by the Lady Evangels. Roach getting it back again, guarded by Wyckoff. Wyckoff got a piece of it. Roach got it back, can't connect. Ball still loose and grabbed by Hernandez.
You don't see many guards going in the post and putting hands up on big men like Sidney Wyckoff.
Now Wyckoff at the offensive end. Tried to leave it for Salinga, but it gets knocked around, and now Wyckoff will be called for the foul. Trying to poke it loose from behind from Roach.
Mid-America foul number 22, Sidney Wyckoff.
Wyckoff's first, team's third. The Lady Evangels will have Aaliyah Ensley come in to replace Hernandez. It was initially going to be Jessica Fairley, but after that free throw was missed and the ball stayed in play, went with Ensley instead. Also into the game for Evangel Desi Ennis. There's number 3. Chisholm driving in, pops from 10 off the front of the rim, and Salinga gets the rebound for the Lady Evangels. They're down by 2, 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Taps going to the left side. It draws contact again. Boy, she is...
Looks like that one's going to be on the floor.
Yeah, but it's going to result in 2 free throws anyway in the bonus. That's the third foul that Rachel Taps has drawn here in the first quarter. Brianna Votes back in. As is Kylie Moore replacing Chisholm and Coffin. Taps with 4 early points, all at the line. Lady Evangels down by a pair with 3:26 to go in the first quarter. So Taps able to make the first. Now, Lady Evangels out with 3 players currently injured for various reasons. Nevada Dent, Oceana Zani, as well as Annalie Thompson, excuse me.
And Oceana being a bigger name just for the post unit of this MACU team, being that she's normally a starter down there.
Aggressive defense, and Wyckoff able to come away with it near half court. She's going to go to the basket herself. Got tripped up a little bit. No foul called, and Evangel able to dodge a bullet there. Bounce ahead to Ennis, picked up by Ensley. Back behind the three-point line. Back cut feed, coming along over to Moore, lays it in. That puts Evangel back up 19-17 with 2:53 to go in the first quarter. Ball deflected, but comes to Wyckoff. Ensley just inside the right elbow, picks up the dribble. Taps, a lot of contact twice. No whistle, and then cannot make the contested shot and knocks it out of bounds.
I actually like the no call there. It kind of looked like Rachel may have caused a lot of the contact there on the play.
22nd timeout called by Evangel. It is a 19-17 lead for the Lady Crusaders here in the first quarter. Alex Reed and Justin Allen with you here on MACUathletics.com. Men's team is in Springfield. Evangel's home tonight, but they're playing an exhibition game against Drury University. And more women's action coming up on Tuesday night against Oklahoma Christian. And Oklahoma Christian NCAA Division II team. It is a regular season game. It is not an exhibition. And we'll have a men's game on Thursday here against LSU Shreveport. That's basketball, but Destin, I believe you'll have some other games coming up. Either soccer or volleyball.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. tomorrow is actually a big day for our soccer programs here, being our senior night for both women's and men's tomorrow, as we're going to be taking on a conference matchup as well.
All in on MACUathletics.com. 19-17, the Evangel lead. 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Morse got it on the far side. Going towards the baseline. Stops underneath the basket, stepped out of bounds.
I think we'll take that call, but I think they also could have got her with a travel. She kind of dragged her foot as she stopped there.
There's been a back and forth first quarter. Currently Evangel leading by 2. Hensley near the Evangel bench, giving it off to Taps right of the circle, looking for a screen from Shannon. They'll try and fire it to Solinga, but it's into traffic and taken away by the Crusaders. Vaughn with the steal, 3rd in NAIA last year in steals. Moore giving it off to Ennis at the top of the circle, 17 in the shot clock. Vaughn going left side, guarded by Taps. Here comes the double team, passes out of it. Lander's shot off the mark, offensive rebound, and the putback no good by Votes. Ball's loose, saved by Taps, and it comes to Shannon. Looking for some help, leaves it for Taps, works to Ensley, open 3, left side, can't hit. Taps crashing in. She'll be called for the foul, however, going over the back of Vaughn.
Yeah, she got a little bit too aggressive trying to get to that rebound, kind of crashing. It looked like she almost jumped right in front of the free throw line to try to get it.
Taps is first team's 4th. Jessica Fairley in the game for the first time, replacing Alexis Shannon. 1:30 to go in the first quarter, and 19-17 Evangel lead. Vaughn calling out the play on the far side, inside half court. Lander trying to feed downstairs, but it is deflected by Fairley. Evangel maintains possession, and a travel called on Votes.
Yeah, it's always tough when you get that pass and you see the open lane right before the ball gets there, and you try to run before the ball gets there. It's almost always going to be a travel.
Timeout called by the Lady Evangels, another 30-second timeout, and we'll take the break with them. It is 19-17. Evangel leading with 1:13 in the first quarter. This is MACUathletics.com. Evangel leading. Lady Crusaders make a substitution out of the break with Alexis Coffin coming back in.
You also kind of see him switching over to this zone.
Wyckoff passed up an open 3, drives in, leaves it for Solinga, had to gather it near feet. It'll tie up the game. 19-19, under a minute to go in the first quarter. Tightly contested game in the first 10 minutes. Looking to go underneath the Coffin and got it, and then Solinga banged into her on the help side defense. Now that'll put the Lady Crusaders in the bonus. Actually, the foul's on Ensley, not Solinga. Alexis Coffin heads to the line. Freshman out of Wichita, Kansas.
Alexis Coffin, 2 shots.
It's the season opener for Evangel. Has a really tough start to the season schedule-wise as Coffin misses the first. They're here tonight. Their next game will be at College of the Ozarks, always a good team. And then they'll be at home against John Brown. That is an early season gauntlet for the Lady Crusaders. More Heart of American Athletic Conference play begins.
You don't see many teams scheduling that many tougher games on the early part of the schedule. I kind of like to see it for the Evangel team.
Well, Evangel has had 3 foul attempt shots, all by freshmen, all missed. Ensley gives off to Fairley coming off a big game. Tried to step through and the shot blocked away by Lander. Wyckoff with the active hands again, caused the deflection, taps up with it, working one-on-one, and a charge is called on Taps, with Vaught stepping in front and drawing it.
That was a good take there by Evangel. I'm not 100% sure if it was as timed as well as I thought. I don't know if that's the right call. But being willing to take that close to the basket when Taps was running with a lot of speed and momentum already, that's a good heads-up play there.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of replay. I don't know if both feet were outside the restricted arc. And Vaught, she also had her arms in front of her chest. You don't usually see the charge given in that situation. 5 seconds left in the quarter. Moore giving it off. Taylor Arnold lets it go. It's no good. We play to a 19-19 draw after the first quarter here at the Gonky Activity Center. Again, it is Evangel 19 and MACU 19 after the first of 4 quarters here at the Gonky Activity Center. We're back in a moment. This is MACUathletics.com. (19-19) as we begin the second quarter. Evangel has 16 of their 19 points in the paint. You heard Dixon mention it during the first quarter. Used to seeing the Lady Evangels take more three-pointers. They only attempted 1 3-pointer in that first quarter and made it. Well, Lady Evangels with the ball, and well, right on cue, Jessica Fairley aims from deep, but it's off the mark. Coughlin the rebound for Evangel. Arnold bringing it up.
I know that one missed, but I really like going straight to it. They need to get to that three-point shot. It's a big part of this offense.
Bailey Ballou, big 6'3" freshman in the game. A lot of youth on the floor for Evangel right now. 10 on the shot clock. Three-pointer made by Coughlin. Evangel back in front. Ensley to the basket, gets the basket and is fouled.
She got that outside lane there, and the defender wasn't going to be able to close out on her without fouling.
Leah Ensley has 7 points in her team debut last Friday. The transfer out of Murray State College, originally from Newcastle, Oklahoma, just a bit down the road. A chance to tie this game and cannot do so as the shot rims in and out. Ballou able to track it down for Evangel. Another three-pointer on the way. This one by Arnold. Pinballs around. Comes to Coughlin again. This time off the mark, off the back of the rim. There's Ensley. Able to come away with a rebound. Ensley pushing. Step through left side. Draws another foul.
I'm glad she was able to get the foul there. When I looked up and saw it was going to be a 2-on-4 situation for the Evangels, I would have liked for her to bring that ball out, wait for the teammates to get down and kind of run the offense a little more. But it worked out for her, getting the call under the basket.
Coach Lusinger was trying to get her veterans an extra blow with 4 freshmen on the floor, but after back-to-back fouls committed, the regulars all back in as Ensley hits the first free throw. So it is Vaught, joined along with Votes, Ennis, Lander, and Coughlin on the floor. Second shot rims out, Votes the rebound.
A lot of in and outs already on the free throw line for the Lady Evangels.
22-22. 8:51 to go in the first half. Vaught driving in, lost it, and that should be MACU ball. It is.
As someone that's been a referee for high school basketball before, those might be the hardest ones to not call out on the defense. It just appears that the ball flew out of her hand way too hard for it not to be a defender. But that's the right call.
Ensley stopping 10 feet from the bucket, giving it off to Wyckoff. Stops in the same exact spot Ensley was at. Finds Salinga. Gives it to Shannon. Full steam to the basket. Fouled and pouting. Well, we've only seen Alexis Shannon do that probably a few hundred times in her 3 years here with the Lady Evangels.
That's her bread and butter ever since she's been here. The driving to the basket off almost a pick and roll there. There really wasn't as much roll as there was a pick, but it worked out perfectly because that's what she does.
Cannot make the free throw, however. The Lady Evangels ahead, 24-22. Chisholm controlling, giving it off to Lander, going left side, spinning to her right, back to her left, over Shannon, too strong, selling to the rebound. Shannon left side at the elbow, off to Fairley. Had it poked loose, still on the ground, and taken away by Votes of the Lady Crusaders.
A lot of early turnovers on this side of the court for MACU here. We got to clean that up.
6 in the game now. Coffin, the contested three over Fairley. Second made three-pointer by the freshman Alexis Coffin. That puts Evangel back in front, 25-24. Wyckoff answering, and it's good. It has that high-arcing floating shot, which last season saw her shoot.
You got to like the trust there from her teammates. They knew that was in from the moment it came out.
43.5% from beyond the arc last year. But she picks up the foul at the other end. Avery Gregory will come in for the first time for the Lady Evangels. More subs for Evangel. Courtney Austin, Alexis Roach coming in.
Yeah, Sydney Wyckoff is too aggressive to probably leave her out on the court right now with 2 fouls. I like the call to take her out there.
And replaced by Anna Cash. Already 11 players have been on the floor for Evangel tonight. 10 on the shot clock. It's Vaught, their leader, giving it up to Austin. Ennis thought about the Chisholm thought about the long three. 4 on the shot clock. Throws it up underhanded and is bailed out by a foul. It'll be on Gregory, who just checked in.
It's a questionable shot attempt there. I do think it might be the right call. I think Avery may have came down on her with her arms a little bit. And if you ever bring your arms down on defense, they're almost always going to give you that call.
Sadie Chisholm, a freshman out of Parkville, Missouri. It's the first free throw. The first one made by Evangel. However, off the mark on the second, Shannon the rebound.
A lot of missed free throws from both sides early on.
27-26, the Lady Evangels in front. Under 7 minutes to go in the half. Fairley in the corner, steps inside. Not sure if it was a pass or a shot. It came to Gregory, and her shot underneath the basket blocked away. Vaught goes left side, high off the glass, can't connect. Votes the offensive rebound. The putback is in, and the lead back in favor of by the Crusaders. Ensley the other way. Some contact, no foul. Gregory comes with the offensive rebound. Shannon lets a contested three go. Fairly an offensive rebound, but the ball was stolen away by Vaught underneath the basket. She was looking for Gregory.
It's a nice reaction there because that looked like it was just going to be a nice Jessica Fairley pass.
And a turnover at the other end as the pass is too wide for Austin along the far side.
You haven't really seen either team pull ahead by too much yet. The largest lead so far being 2, maybe 3 points.
It was a 19-19 tie after the first quarter. 28-27 Evangel in front. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the half. Fairley. And her pass deflected. Ensley comes away with it. Ensley along the baseline, off the glass again.
She made splitting 2 defenders look easy there.
That'll put MACU back in front, 29-28. 5:40 to go before half. Took her eye off the ball. Cash almost came away with it. And Angel's now got to scramble. Vaught spinning, foul, but the offensive foul is called. Ensley able to step in, take the charge, and she has had some very nice minutes off the bench here in the first half.
It was a nice heads-up play there to get planted, knowing the spin move was coming. They've used it so much already today. It was just like clockwork.
Lady Evangels looking to build on a 1-point lead. Cash left side. She's going to be called for an offensive foul, pushing off with the right arm.
That's one of the calls that the NEIA has actually made comments about being a little bit more strict on this year. In my time as a MACU fan, I've seen so many push-offs not get called.
Remains a 1-point lead for the Lady Evangels. Vaught's got it, going left side, cutting across the paint. Giving off to Austin, three-pointer no good, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lady Evangels. They'll stay with Evangel. Coffin, who's made a couple of threes, coming in. Votes checks out. 4:59 to go in the first half.
This is an interesting lineup here because there's not really a true big on the floor for the Lady Evangels right now.
Well, nor is there for Evangel, for that matter, as the shot missed by Moore. There's Ensley again, drawing the contact. Coffin will pick up the foul. And that is the 5th team foul of the quarter, so Ensley will head to the foul line.
A lot of productive minutes from her already are on attacking the basket. A lot of free throw attempts off the bench.
Ensley makes the first. Both, and the Lady Evangels ahead.
We haven't seen someone hit both free throws a lot today, so that seems like a rarity.
Substitution for Evangel, Desi Ennis coming in, replacing Roach. Vaught's got it for Evangel. Down by 3, 4:38 remaining in the first half. Feeding to Ennis in the corner. And traveled on the pump fake.
The plan there was for her not to have to ever dribble with the ball there. I think the plan was for her to get the ball and shoot it right away. The defense crashed on her way earlier than she expected, and it kind of forced her to have to lean to her left, and she definitely dragged her feet in the process.
Ensley to the basket again, drawing more contact.
You can tell Coach Moeller likes it just as much as we are, Alex. Ever since coming in the game, she's not came out.
The foul is on Moore, her first. Able to make the first as a team. Lady Evangels were actually under 50% at the free throw line in their first game. Not that it really mattered. Last season, as a team, shot about 70%. Ensley making both. It is now a 33-28 lead, the largest lead of the night for either team. This game has pretty much been played within one possession in the first 15 minutes. Vaught dishing in the corner. Austin spinning, had to take it away by Cash. But active hands by Moore, and then Cash fouled her from behind. What a play by Kylie Moore.
And a really good break for Evangel there, because if she got that ball up there, Jessica Fairley was going to be on by herself.
Taylor Arnold coming in for Evangel. Rachel Taps back in for the Lady Evangels. Now 2 personal fouls. .404 left in a 33-28 lead for the Lady Evangels.
So far on the inbounds, we've seen a lot of motion on this by this Evangel team to try to get three-point shooters open on this. I would expect the same here.
Well, they just go right down the corner instead. Get it right back to Vaught, though. Austin, left side, giving it off to Ennis. Ennis spinning in the middle of the lane, finding Vaught. Beautiful dish as Fairley had come over to help, and Vaught able to lay it in. 3:30 the Lady Evangel lead, 3:44 to go in the first half. Hensley's got it again, driving to the basket again, and I think, dragged her feet. Maybe time for the travel. Salinga in for Shannon. Avery Gregory thought she was coming out, but it's going to be for Alexis Shannon instead. 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. A tightly contested first half. Wide open three for Courtney Austin, but can't hit it. Doesn't get much easier than that in the middle of the game. Straight on, wide open. The Evangels, however, able to clear it. Salinga giving off to Hensley in the corner. She lets it fly and hits. The big first half continues for Leah Hensley.
I thought Lorelei was going to go full court there.
Austin thought about another, passed it up, gives it off to Ennis, who traveled. 36-30, the Lady Evangel lead with 3:01 to go in the second quarter.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but I think that's the third traveling violation called on her alone.
Well, I'm not going to correct you because I cannot definitively answer that statement. So, unfortunately, the live stats have been down since the first quarter, and we've got a foul away from the ball on Evangel. That is on Coffin. That's her third. So early foul trouble for Coffin in her first collegiate game. Salinga will head to the free throw line. 16 points in the first game last week. 8 of 10 from the floor. Did not make a trip to the free throw line. Second year in the program, and the first one off the back of the rim and will throw out. Had to miss a decent amount of time last year due to injury. Able to rattle in the second, and now a 7-point lead. Largest of the night at 37-30. 2:50 remaining in the first half. Vaught directing traffic, guarded by Hensley, giving it off to Ennis. Now Roach has it, reverses court. Arnold lets it go, too strong. Whistle attempting for the rebound. It is on the Lady Evangels. Vaught's going to head to the free throw line. Salinga's first, team's fifth.
Another thing Lorelei struggled with last year was getting in foul trouble. That's only her first foul here today, though.
Lexi Vaught, over 16 points per game, over 8 rebounds per game last year. Again, an All-American in what was her first year in the program. Makes the first free throw, played her first 2 years at Drury University, NCAA Division II program in Springfield. And one of 3 players from the small town of Crane, Missouri. Vaught, Moore, and Lander all in the same class. They led Crane to 4 straight state titles. And now the Lady Evangels commit a turnover at the other end.
Yeah, if I won 4 straight state titles, I think I'd want to stay together too.
Well, Vaught, though, too strong going down the middle of the lane. 37-32. Hensley, arguably the story of the half. I thought there was a travel there. Finds Fairley in the corner. That's a three-pointer. Officials deem that Hensley had the ball disengaged long enough to consider it separate possessions. In the middle is Roach spinning. And it's Hensley coming in again and drawing another charge.
She's playing some elite minutes right now. She's doing it on both sides of the floor and just doing a little bit of everything while she's doing it.
It's one of those where she's been great, but she's played so hard, you wonder if it can be maintained the entire game. We'll have to wait and see. 40-32. Just ahead of the free throw line, Salinga looked for a couple of handoffs. Weren't there, goes to the basket instead and sends it off the glass with a timeout called by Evangel. The lead is up to double digits at 42-32. The Lady Evangels outscored Manhattan Christian 32-8 in the second quarter. In the first game to take control, and here in the second quarter, they're outscoring the Lady Crusaders 23-13. timeout called by the Crusaders. 42-32 the score. We'll be back in a moment. This is MACUathletics.com. 42-32, Lady Evangels ahead, 1:33 to go in the first half. They've extended the lead out. Katana was tied after one quarter. Roach going to the baseline, giving it off to Austin, able to shake Emsley. Long two, good. Much needed bucket for the Crusaders.
That's one of the things that aggression can get you at times. You can bite on a pass early and just leave someone wide open.
Taps controlling for the Lady Evangels. Salinga right of the circle, 15 of the shot clock, 1:03 in the game clock. Taps is going to be called for an offensive foul. That is her third.
I was going to complain on the call because I thought it was going to be called a moving screen on Lorelei, and I would have very much disagreed there, but the Rachel Taps one maybe happened.
Shannon will come back in. We've got a minute left to go in the half. 42-34, the Lady Evangels lead. Chisholm's got it in the corner, lost it along the baseline, and Salinga comes away with it. Fairley on the near side, at the elbow, picks up the dribble, giving off to Gregory. Lost her feet, maintained her dribble, and is tied up in possession area with the Crusaders.
Checking in for Evangel, number 10, Lexi Clark.
Watt will come back in.
Substitution for the Crusaders.
Also Bailey Ballou back in for the Lady Crusaders. Officials conferring.
Seems like the refs were trying to make sure the foul was given to Rachel Taps.
About a 8-second difference between game clock and shot clock with 30 seconds to go in the half. Vaught's got it, handing it off to Chisholm. Chisholm stepping back behind the arc, 13 of the shot clock. Arnold, the Vault in the corner, 9 of the shot clock. Giving it off to Austin, driving towards the sideline. Give it to Chisholm, great defensive possession. Ball goes through the legs, taken away by Shannon with 8 seconds left. Shannon the basket, left side, and a big swat by Vaught. 4 seconds left. Arnold's got it. Arnold will heave near the buzzer off the back rim. And we'll head into halftime with the Lady Evangels ahead, 42-34. So it was a tie game after one quarter. The Lady Evangels are +8 in the second quarter, leading by as many as 10. And they have a 42-34 lead at half. We'll take a break and come back and look inside the first half snaps. This is MACUathletics.com. Here at halftime, the Gulke Activity Center, Lady Evangels in front of Evangel, 42-34. Alex Reben and Destin Adams with you. As unfortunately cannot recap the first half stats-wise due to some technical difficulties. Still the most important stat, though, with the Lady Evangels ahead. But certainly, probably the biggest story of the first half, as far as the Lady Evangels were concerned, was the play of Aaliyah Ensley.
Yeah, she came off the bench as a fiery part of that bench lineup, and she got to play the majority of the second quarter. She came in, was able to succeed on the offensive end of the court, being able to drive to the basket and get to the free throw line at a consistent rate, and then on the defensive end, taking at least 2 charges that I saw and being very aggressive on inline passes, getting a few steals her way. She was making fire. She was just being a very fiery part of both lineups.
Certainly a contrast in styles with Evangel already using 12 players in the game. A lot of freshmen getting thrown right into the fire here in their first collegiate games. And we'll see if it's the depth or the experience that might win out, because MACU, due to injuries and other things, have not used as many players there in the first half, but much more experienced players on the floor.
Another thing that we were kind of surprised of, me and Alex both, is the lack of three-point shots from MACU's side in that first half. They took a little bit more in the second quarter, it felt like, after only taking 1 in the first quarter. But so far, they've relied heavily on getting to the basket, trying to get to the free throw line a little bit, even though they've not shot well at the free throw line in the first half.
And it's an 8-point lead for the Lady Evangels here at halftime. And Destin, as we look towards the second half, what do you feel the Lady Evangels have to do to close this one out?
I think it's going to be important to add the three-point ball to this second half team. I think it's so big of an aspect of so many of these girls' games that if we start getting that three-point shot falling, I think we'll start pulling ahead in the second half.
Second half, a little over 9 minutes away. So, take a break. We will hear as well, and we will be back with the second half of play coming up in a bit. 42-34, the Lady Evangels lead. This is MACUathletics.com. Now just a few seconds away from the start of the second half of the Gonky Activities Center here at MACUathletics.com. Alex Freeman joined Houston Adams here tonight. Lady Evangels with a 42-34 lead against the Evangel Lady Crusaders. The next game for the Lady Evangels will be on Tuesday. It'll be right here at the Gonky Activities Center, 6 p.m. Tip-off as they take on Oklahoma Christian, a team they won and beat up in Edmonton last year. And then next week, we'll have an exhibition contest down I-35 against North Texas. Now, Lady Evangels will not have their starting five on the floor. It's not too often you see changes to that, but with good reason. Aaliyah Ensley will begin the game here in the second half.
I think she earned the right to start here in the second half.
So it is Ensley to be joined by Wyckoff, Shannon, Salinga, and Hernandez. And also Rachel Taps with 3 fouls will remain on the bench. But Sydney Wyckoff just picked up an offensive foul on the Lady Evangels' first possession, and that is her third. So the 2 primarily ball handlers for the Lady Evangels now with 3 fouls apiece. And Wyckoff is going to remain in the game.
It's interesting to see if this affects Sydney's defense at all, being a very aggressive and handsy defender, if she has to bring those hands in every now and then now.
Emma Lander gets it in the middle and is able to hit the shot, and there's Aaliyah Ensley drawing more contact. This foul is on Bailey Harmon. Evangel does have their starting 5 on the floor. Moore votes Harmon and Lander. As mentioned, they had 12 players see the floor in the first half. Ensley trying to get it into Shannon. It gets knocked around and hit off the Lady Crusaders. It was a relatively quiet first half for Alexis Shannon, only 4 points. Did also have 3 free throws, but missed all of them. I think they have to wind it down to 20 seconds.
Shot clock set to 24 seconds.
24 seconds. Well,
it did end up also that Alexis Shannon didn't have the ball in her hand as much in that second quarter just because they were riding the hot hand.
Ensley giving it off to Hernandez off the inbound. She'll back it out. 6-point lead for the Lady Evangels. Hernandez just inside the arc right side, picks up the dribble. Beautiful backup by Wyckoff, goes up and got fouled.
It's a poor decision there on the foul because it looked like it was going to be a clean block no matter what. And in the contact from the backside is what the foul got called on.
Fought her first personal. Sydney Wyckoff with a couple of free throws coming up. Shot a couple as part of a technical foul, a bench technical called on Evangel due to a scorecard mishap. But she misses the first one here. Wyckoff last year at the free throw line, a 74.5% shooter, and missed both. And that one rattle out.
Free throws have not been a strong suit for this Evangel team so far.
Feeding Lander down low, the height advantage over Ensley, able to hold her ground, and Lander gets it back. This time she's short. A third chance. This one is converted by Votes.
That height differential came in handy there for Evangel.
And you're down only by 4, trailed by as many as 10 near the end of the first half. And guess what? Only Ensley just drew another foul.
Number 11, Kylie Moore. That's her second.
It is Kylie Moore's first, or excuse me, her second, the team's third.
Yeah, she kind of caught herself slipping there, brings her hands out and extending them across. Almost hit her in the face.
Only one more foul to give for Evangel in this quarter. Hernandez fires at 5-6 feet beyond the arc. It hits. Talking with Coach Moeller earlier today, she said, we knew she could shoot. We didn't know she could shoot this well. And now another foul called. A lot of whistles in the early goings here of the second half. That one's on Ensley, her second, the team's second.
The foul count there in the guard position right now for the Evangels is racking up.
Both Wyckoff, who's in the game, and Taps on the bench with 3 each. Going to Lander a lot more here early in the second half, but unable to hit. Votes looked like she traveled, but instead she's going to get fouled and the basket will count. Like she might have shuffled her feet before the shot went up, but instead she gets fouled by Salinga and was able to endure the contact and make the bucket.
It looked like she kind of created the contact there. I don't know if I would have gave her the call, but real strong basket there to be able to put that in the basket on her end.
Well, both teams, though, not converting at the line. And Oates misses the free throw. It's 45-40. Ensley had a knock loose, got it back. Hernandez in front of her bench, traveling to the top of the circle. Now goes to the right side. Lost it because she was fouled.
Yeah, she grabbed her opposite arm there off the spin move because it looked like Lexi was going to get her off balance and she was going to get away there with the open lane, so she grabbed the opposite hand there to pull her back.
That is on Vaught. Her second, team's fourth. Already 4 fouls committed within the first 2 minutes of the quarter. Beautiful feed to Salinga, but Vaught altered the shot just enough to force the miss. That was a great inbounds play run by the Lady Evangels, and Shannon at the other end gets a steal. Shannon to the basket with her right hand, rolls off the left side of the rim, and it is Votes with the rebound. Moore wide open for 3 and buries it. And cuts the lead to 2, 45-43 with 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And Rachel Taps getting off the bench here, has sat on the bench too long here in the second half. They're going to get her in with or without 3 fouls.
Ensley was in trouble. Coach Moeller calls a timeout. Again, her team once leading by as many as 10. Now seen it go down to 2, 45-43. The score is a full timeout. We'll take a break. This is MACUathletics.com. The Evangels coming off the timeout. Rachel Taps will be the inbounder back in the game.
Good find.
On the arc to Ensley. Feed into Salinga, gets knocked away, but she gathers it near the corner. 12 on the shot clock for the Lady Evangels. Shannon gets it, cutting the basket. Foul, and it rolls in.
A lot of contact there, and Shannon just drifts it off there and puts the ball in the basket.
The foul
Crusaders foul number 13, Brianna Votes.
is on Brianna Votes, her first.
Great movement without the ball there by Alexis Shannon. When Lorelei was pinned in the corner, it looked like she was going to be in some trouble.
Shannon able to convert the 3-point play. And off the timeout, Lady Evangels push the lead back to 5. 7:06 to go in the third quarter. Chisholm back in the game. They're working around now on the right side to Roach. Chisholm drives in. Roach finding Vaught in the corner. Bounce pass inside the Lander. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Roach will fire and it rattles in.
That's a good closeout by Shannon there. There's not much else you can do.
Alexis Roach cuts the lead back to 2. Ensley almost had the pass stolen away. Gets knocked out of bounds along the baseline by Vaught for Shannon. Courtney Austin back in, replacing Votes. It was a 42-32 lead near about a minute left in the first half. But it has been a 14-6 advantage for Evangel since then.
Risky pass there, but it worked out.
And Salinga draws a foul. And the Lady Evangels are in the bonus. 6:35 to go in the quarter.
For Mid-America, number
Hernandez will come in for Wyckoff, who played about 3 minutes of game time after picking up that third foul. 2 shots for Salinga, and off the mark on the first.
Lucky for Sydney Wyckoff there, she didn't tack on a 4th foul on herself in those last 3 minutes she was playing, while also still staying the aggressive self that she is on defense.
Salinga makes the second. Lead is up to 3. 1 possession game, 49-46. 6:33 and counting to go in the third quarter. Chisholm angling towards the far side. Feet beyond the arc. Now goes in. Lost her balance. Picked up the dribble. Able to get it off to Austin. Austin with 12 on the shot clock to Vaughn. Baseline jumper by Roach. Gets the roll. 1-point game, 49-48. Shannon the other way. Going to be called for a charge. Vaughn stepping in front.
That was really close to the restricted area.
That is Shannon's first, team's 4th. Desi Ennis in for Evangel, replacing Lander. Evangel a chance to go back in front. Down by 1, 49-48 the score.
It seemed like to end the first half of action, MACU was on a hot hand there. And then here in the third quarter, it's been all Evangel.
For the lead, Austin lets it go, and it hits nothing but twine. 51-49, erasing a 10-point deficit in about 5.5 minutes of game time across the first and second halves, and now a travel called on the Lady Evangels. Timeout.
A much-needed timeout.
5:33 to go in the third quarter, and now Evangel leading 51-49. This is MACUathletics.com. By 10, they're now down by 2 with 5:33 to go in the third quarter. 51-49, the Evangel lead. Chisholm will bring it up the floor for the Crusaders. It's a screen from Vaughn. Bounce pass down low to Roach. Now there's Vaughn, left side. Getting it for Roach, 13 of the shot clock. The kick out to Chisholm. He's got her, and a travel called on Chisholm.
She spun there with both feet on the initial spin. That's going to be a travel every time.
Lady Evangels trailing for the first time in a while. It's a tie or take the lead here halfway through the third quarter. Shannon cutting right side, finding Salinga left side, but it gets knocked out of bounds by Roach.
A lot of power on that pass from Shannon. It would have been hard for me to catch.
Moore back in, replacing Chisholm. Taps getting it beyond the arc to Ensley. Ensley, a little hesitation move left side. Floats it out to Taps, 11 on the shot clock. Shannon's got it with 9 on the shot clock beyond the arc. Shannon left side with 6 on the shot clock. Spinning left, cannot hit. Rebound grabbed by Roach.
It seems like MACU's rushing their passes, rushing their movements a little bit. They're not used to having to slow down, but they may have to do that here to get back in this.
Halfway through the possession, Vaught on the right wing. Getting off to Roach. Along the baseline to Ennis. The kick out to Austin. Now Moore, 6 to shoot. Gives off to Roach, sets her feet, lets it fly, in and out. Salinga the rebound.
The other thing that has been really going the Evangel way is that they're shooting very well.
Taps to the basket. It's good, and she got fouled.
Great take there by Taps, getting that outside lane, having the defender on her backside. That's going to be a foul almost every time.
Taps at the line, shoots one.
Well, a chance to put the Lady Evangels back in front. It is now tied. Wyckoff checks back in, replacing Ensley. First time she's gone to the bench in a long time. Taps, though, off the back rim of the free throw, and it'll stay tied at 51 all. 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. More right of the circle versus course along the arc, left shot. Now Austin, pump fake, drives in. Taps able to step in front and draw the charge.
That was also really close to the restricted area there. She got it, though.
I will applaud the officials. They have been very consistent in how they've had those 50-50 block call charges tonight. They've almost all been charges. This has been a very physical game. It's what the Lady Evangels expected. Coach Moeller talking with her earlier, they said Evangel is going to junk it up. They run a lot of bodies out of there, and of course the Lady Evangels without 3 of their available ones tonight. Salinga going to the right side. She gets fouled, and another chance for a 3-point play.
Lorelei being a player that plays with a lot of emotion. Emotion kind of drives her game, and she's even better in these kind of environments when she's able to kind of throw off that aggression that she got on that and one.
Salinga, though, like Taps before, could not hit the free throw. It has been an issue for both teams tonight. MACU, though, back in the lead, 53-51. 3:24 left in the third quarter. Moore's got it on the right wing. Stationary dribble off to Ennis in the corner. 12 seconds to shoot. Reversing the left side. Austin's 3 off the back of the rim. Good box out by Hernandez, and Salinga gets it and gives it back to Hernandez. Fairley was open in the corner, couldn't find her. Wyckoff will try the 3. No good. Taps, tips it, keeps it alive. Able to save it from going out of bounds. Hernandez wide open, straight on, and buries it.
The moment she was open, that shot was getting taken.
It is an adage in basketball. Best time for a 3 off an offensive rebound, but a big answer by the Evangels, Courtney Austin. It cuts the lead back to 2, 56-54. Lady Evangels leading, 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Taps the kick out to Hernandez. More space, gathers, shoots, makes again. The early hot shooting for Lexi Hernandez continues.
If you're MACU, you got to circle number 12 over there. Courtney, it was on the corner. She's getting hot over there. You don't want to have her and Lexi going at it.
Or getting off to Ennis. Down low this time to Roach. Circling around. Kick out to Austin. On cue, and she got it. Courtney Austin answers again. Hernandez got it with a defender draped all over her. It's a 3-point contest between Hernandez and Austin at the Galkey Activity Center.
If you're MACU, you know who they're going to try to give this to.
And it's Hernandez defending her. A whistle will quiet the crowd. And Taps just picked up her 4th. Leah Ensley will come back in. Some substitutions for the Crusaders.
Rachel Taps likes to be aggressive. She likes to jump for every rebound no matter the box out happening. She likes to reach on passes. And those things can kind of lead to fouls in certain games. In other games, you'll just see her aggression win MACU games.
Alexis Roach at the free throw line for 2. Alexis Coffin and Taylor Arnold back in as Roach misses the first. Alexi Vaught, who is Evangel's best player, has not forced the issue tonight, but she is on the bench. Not only the offensive element mentioned, 3rd in the league in steals, had an impressive block on Alexis Shannon earlier tonight, but she is not on the floor for the moment. 1 of 2 made by Roach, 4-point MACU lead. Oh, steps might have been taken by Wyckoff. She turned it over anyway. Austin, who's been a big spark, now she turns it over. No, she did not. It was knocked loose from behind.
I'm not sure I agree with that call. It looked like she was off balance and the ball just slipped out of her own hands trying to get a pass to her teammate.
There is no argument, however, from Coach Moeller. Coffin from the corner, too strong. Weak side rebound, though, gathered by Arnold. Passing out of trouble to Moore.
Coffin was one of their hot shooters from the first half. You haven't seen her take as many shots since number 12, Courtney, got on it.
Moore through traffic. A foul is called. Looked like it was a tie-up. But the foul is committed by Hernandez.
Hernandez really wanted the jump ball call there, but driving through the lane like that, it was going to be hard to get.
3rd for Hernandez. She's got 3, taps with 4. And Sydney Wyckoff, who just came out of the game, has got 4. 2 shots for Kylie Moore. Hits the first. Senior. It was 3rd leading returning scorer, just under 9 points per game for the Crusaders last year. Makes bold. We have not seen too many times tonight where a player's made 2 of 2. A minute to go in the quarter. It is a 2-point Evangel's lead. Ensley tried to step through and got fouled. It is on Arnold.
These players on the floor, so many charges being called, they're kind of scared to run into the defender. It's causing them to do kind of what you just saw there with a step through the defenders, and it worked out this time.
Ensley making the first. So the Lady Evangels led by as many as 10 at the end of the first, near the end of the first half. Got down in this quarter, but has now taken a 4-point lead. 56 seconds left in the quarter. A really good early season non-conference matchup between MACU and Evangel. 45 seconds left. Moore penetrates, kicks out. Can Austin hit another? No. This one off the back of the rim. Salinga with the rebound. Here comes Ensley. Ensley step through. A lot of contact again. Can't connect. Shannon draws the foul and makes the basket.
If you're MACU, you really want to get your best player, Alexis Shannon, going. You'll see so many things like that happen when she has the ball in her hand. It's so hard not to foul her down there. She plays so aggressive and so strong. If you don't foul her, it's going to be an automatic 2 points.
It's going to be the 6th or 7th and 1 for the Lady Evangels here tonight. And Shannon off the mark, but Jessica Fairley comes in for the offensive rebound. Oh, Hernandez was thinking about it, but good job by Lander to...
You could hear the crowd be a little dismayed with Lexi not taking that shot there.
The shot clock and game clock are virtually identical. Lady Evangels can play for the final shot of the quarter. Trying to slip it to Gregory, but it goes out of bounds. 9.6 seconds left.
Avery made a great move to the basket, got open, and Lexi found her. Just wasn't able to complete.
Giving it ahead to Austin. Got to pick her up. Austin going into the basket. Floats it. It's short. Fairly the rebound. She'll hang on. And we are through 3 quarters with the Lady Evangels ahead 66-60. So Evangel took the lead after being down by 8 at halftime, but the Lady Evangels able to respond, and we'll head to the final quarter with MACU in front 66-60. Back in a little bit. This is MACUathletics.com. Out to start the fourth quarter with the Lady Evangels ahead 66-60. MACU's got Hernandez, Emsley, Fairley, Shannon, and Gregory on the floor. Vaught, Votes, Lander, Harmon, and Moore. They're starting 5 on the floor. Harmon looking to get it inside to Votes, working against Gregory. Got Gregory off her feet and drew the foul.
Got her off her feet and off balance. Her arms came down on the offensive player, and those are just hard not to call if you're a referee.
Brianna Votes, sophomore from Opie, Kansas. Played all 30 games last year, starting 9, the second leading scorer on the team last season as a freshman. Over 10 points per game. They're going to make the first free throw. Well, free throw shooting has gotten better of late for both teams.
There was really nowhere to go but up.
Sinks both, 4-point lead for the Lady Evangels at 66-62. Emsley trying to back down Moore, picks up the dribble out to Fairley. Fairley spinning, the lane, got fouled.
I don't know if this MACU student section would have been able to take another and one.
For November the 1st, this has been a lively crowd here tonight, large part due to Evangel bringing so many fans down from Springfield. But the MACU fans have responded in turn as Fairley gets a soft bounce off the back of the rim to hit the first free throw. It does not feel like this is just the second game of the year for the Evangels in the first for Evangel in terms of the intensity and the atmosphere. Fairley makes one of 2. It's a 5-point lead at 67-62. Lander going baseline right, picks up the dribble to Harmon right wing. 12 of the shot clock, knocked away by Hernandez. Shannon gets down on the ground, able to maintain possession and hand it off to Hernandez. Hernandez will step back, fire another, this one off the left side of the rim.
That one looked good.
Back the other way, Evangel. It is Slanders too strong, and Shannon comes away with it. And now Shannon had it poked loose. Late foul as goes a little bit of a late whistle. It certainly was the right call, but for whatever reason took that extra second or so to blow the whistle. Was also going to make the point that Evangel's clearly going after Evie Gregory right now, and she's going to come out. So Lingo will be back in.
And playing under the basket like that, it was just going to be the circle that they circled in that MACU defense. A good call there by Coach Moeller to get a new body down there.
That is Vaught's third, team's second. Austin, where's number 12 for Evangel, had the huge third quarter back in, as is Coffin, who had the nice first half. A couple of ladies who can shoot it. Hernandez can also shoot it, gives it off to Shannon though. Shannon with 9 on the shot clock, stopping inside the arc. Out to Fairley, lets it go for 3, rims out. Emsley tracks it down, but she got some help. Salinga will be called for a foul away from the ball.
That was away from the ball, too. That's sad. That didn't really help her get to the ball at all. It just kind of took a defender out. It looked like the right call on the play. It looked like Lorelei may have hooked on the rebound there.
Salinga's third, team second. 8:13 to go in the final quarter here at the Galkey Activity Center. 5-point lead for the Lady Evangels. Austin getting off to Moore. Pump fake goes right, and Emsley will be called from a foul from behind. That is the team's third, her third.
It's been a consistent called game throughout the entirety of it.
Coffin right off the inbound, but short. And another strong rebound by Salinga. Shannon's going to try a 3 right side off the back of the rim. Salinga, an offensive rebound. Called for a charge. And my thought, the same as Salinga's, that deep into the basket, there's no possible way both feet could have been outside the arc.
I was confused about the call as well, Alex. It being in the restricted area. I thought she was going to get called with the extending of the arm at first because it did appear that she may have done that, but I don't understand the charge.
That's her fourth. Taps and Salinga each with 4. So Gregory going to have to come back in. We'll see if the Lady Crusaders to try and attack her again. Lob down, Fairley knocks it away. Austin gathers it for the Crusaders. Finds a cutting Vaught. And a 3-second call is going to be called on Coffin.
That's got to be unfortunate there. Coffin kind of fell under the basket and getting the 3 seconds called on her.
67-62. Ball and the lead. And now another whistle.
Crusaders, number 21.
That's on Coffin.
That's her
Her fourth.
third.
Team's third. And with the way this game has been called, I think we're going to see a lot of foul shots coming down the stretch. Fairley somehow gathered that ball, had her shot blocked from behind. Loose on the floor, very quick jump ball called, and it'll stay with the Lady Evangels.
A good heads-up play there by Avery, getting on the ground, seeing the ball come out. I couldn't believe it either that Jessica Fairley was even able to come down with that pass. It looked like it was going to be high and outside.
Ensley looking to get it in. She'll heave it towards half court where Shannon gets it. Shannon shakes a defender to right, jump stop to the left, too strong on the shot. Gregory, the offensive rebound, goes up, cannot get it to go. Coffin the rebound for Evangel.
I think Shannon wanted the whistle there.
Gregory going to be called for a block along the baseline.
Being that close to the baseline, it's hard not to get the blocking foul called. But to me, it appeared that the Evangel offensive player may have hooked Avery on the sideline, trying to get to the basket, try to get separation. So it kind of, to me, appeared that she created the contact. I don't know if I would have called it on either side, though.
That'll put Vaught at the line for 2. I think this is a time where it is really hurting the Lady Evangels not to have Oceana Zani available, not to have Annalie Thompson, who's yet to play due to illness, but a 5'10 transfer from Northwestern Oklahoma State, a bit thin up in the front court right now.
And you can tell Evangel did their scouting there, being able to circle these players that are playing big that normally wouldn't.
Offensive rebound by Roach, goes up, lays it in, and that cuts the MACU lead to 2, 67-65. Shannon picks up the dribble right of the lane. Evangel wanted a travel call. Hernandez able to get it out. Now Taps will go to the basket. And a bit of a ticky-tack foul called in favor of the Lady Evangels, and Coffin is fouled out.
Crusaders foul number 21, Alexis Coffin. That'll be your 5th personal. Team's 4th.
Speaking on the no call on the travel that Shannon just didn't receive, I think it was the right call. It appeared that she stuck with that pivot foot as soon as she got down there. There was no drag that I saw.
Final foul to give. Hernandez off the inbound. Too strong, but it comes to Fairley. And a couple of big offensive rebounds. No reset of the shot clock, though. It's down to 12. Ensley through the C. Lays it off the glass with a left hand.
She's done it so many times here tonight, splitting defenders, making it look easy.
Evangel looking to answer. The lob to Votes. And Fairley calling the foul, coming over to help. Coach Moeller wanted a travel call.
The double pump fake there got Fairley up in the air a second time. The first pump fake got Alexis Shannon and Fairley in the air, and the second one got it where the whistle was going to come.
You know, Fairley basically, in a sense, forced into defensively guarding the 4, as Votes able to make the first free throw. Both made by Votes. Back to a 2-point game. We've got 6 minutes to go and a good one at the Gonky Activity Center. Lady Evangels ahead 69-71.
Good move.
By Ensley.
Welcome to Mid-America Christian University.
It's just kind of funny how these things work out. Ensley, 7 points against Manhattan Christian of the 130 the team scored. She has carried the team tonight. Roach off the mark.
That was a step back three in a defender's eye. That was a heat. That had to have been a heat check.
Here comes Tapp, switching to the right hand, left it short, votes the rebound. 4-point lead for the Lady Evangels. Chisholm over to Vaught. Now Austin baseline left, Chisholm up top, working to Roach, feeding to Votes. Votes kicks out, and another 3-second call.
That's the right call. 13 never made a decision to leave the paint there.
.508 left. It is a 71-67 MACU lead. Tapp's giving it off to Hernandez, sets her feet, lets it go, but missed everything. Last couple of shots for Hernandez to get off the mark.
It kind of looked like when she received the ball, she didn't like how it was gripped. She kind of had to switch the ball around in her hands before shooting it, which I think may have threw off her entire shot motion.
Getting it off to Moore, driving left, stepping back straight ahead on the arc. Left wing, now Austin left of the circle, and a miscommunication between Austin and Roach. A pair of freshmen leads to a turnover with the pass behind Roach.
It didn't look like Austin could see the screen coming that was going to send the roll going towards the basket, so she sends the pass thinking she's going to stay in the corner.
Now Lander back in, Arnold back in, but Votes, who's done a lot of the heavy lifting on the offensive end for Evangel, goes to the bench with 4:27 left. Ensley getting around the first defender, maintains her feet, but the off-balance shot won't go. More ahead to Vaught. Handing off to the trailer, Arnold, back to Vaught. Back to Arnold in the corner, 18 on the shot clock. Moore drives across the right side of the lane, finds an open Vaught for three and hits.
The help defense there came into the paint on the driving player, left the corner three available for Evangel.
1 point game. Fairley's baseline shot too strong, came right to Vaught on the weak side.
This is going to be an exciting last 4 minutes of basketball.
A chance for Evangel to go back in front. Down by 1, 3:40 to go. Vaught looking for the play call from the bench. Guarded by Ensley, goes to the left, now back to the right, leaving for Ennis.
Nice pass.
Tried to find a cutting Moore, it gets deflected, jump ball is called, possession with the Crusaders, 6 on the shot clock.
It was a nice pass there by number 3, Desi Ennis.
Baseline right inbounds, comes to Vaught, lets it go again and hits, and Evangel back in front.
It looked like the Evangels just lost that one player there on the inbounds. She was standing over there by herself.
Vaught has been relatively quiet tonight, but she has made back-to-back three-pointers. Now the Evangels down by 2, 73-71. Moore comes in and ties it up, and it'll stay with MACU in the alternating possession. Salinga will come in. She's got 4 fouls. So Taps and Salinga each with 4.
Looks like she's going to come in and replace Fairley.
20 on the shot clock. And a foul is called.
An obvious push. An obvious push. You can't make it that obvious.
On Ennis. And the Taps will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 and a chance to tie the game.
Mid-America is in the bonus. Taps at the line, shoots 2.
Able to make the first.
Free throws are always important, especially at this point of the game.
MACU's not putting anyone on the blocks to rebound. And it'll pop out, so Evangel maintains a 1-point lead. 3 minutes to go. Vaught starting to take control. Hands off to Ennis. Lander working around the perimeter to Arnold. 14 on the shot clock for the Crusaders, leading by a point. Vaught in the corner, lets it go again and hits again. Showing why she was an NAIA All-American last year. She's made 3 consecutive three-pointers, and it is a 2-possession game at 76-72.
And they're leaving her open off those screens. It's getting really evident. We need to circle her on this because they're going to keep going back to her.
So now a 4-point lead for Evangel. It was Evangel who called this timeout, the full timeout to take the break. Now MACU trying to battle back. This is MACUathletics.com. .238 left in the Lady Evangels. I believe are facing their largest deficit of the night with 4 points. There's a back and forth first half for the most part. Evangels eventually took a 10-point lead. It was 8 at half.
This fourth quarter has been a tough one here if you're a MACU fan. It feels like they're being beat on all hustle plays.
Linga giving it off to Shannon. Draw the clear foul. Arnold, the personal, and Shannon will have the line. Clock stop, 2:26, walking a bit gingerly after getting back to her feet.
The handoff to Alexis Shannon and drive is a big part of her game. I would be surprised if we don't go straight back to that on the next possession.
Alexis Shannon shoots
2 shots coming up, and the first one rolls in. Short on the second, though. And the rebound gathered by Evangel, leading by 3. 2:20 left, 76-73. Crusaders ahead. More controlling for Evangel, switching to the left side. Run by Salunga. Kick out back to Moore, 12 of the shot clock. Roach trying to post up Hernandez. A handoff to Lander. It is Vaught, lets it go again, this time off the mark. Taps able to crash in and corral it near the corner.
Another screen trying to send Vaught over to the corner. Can't quite get to the corner, and it may have threw her off.
Under 2 minutes to go, Lady Evangels down by 3. Vaught pokes it away, comes away with a steal, loose on the baseline. Ennis tries to get it to Lander through her legs. Vaught jumps on it. And it is a held ball. Possession will go with Evangel. Lexi Vaught has come through in the clutch on offense and defense for Evangel down the stretch. Votes back in for Evangel. 1:36 left. Both teams in the bonus. A 3-point Crusaders lead. Trying to start off their season with a huge road win.
They eat through the press really quick. They're finding the opening right away on the inbound.
Roach, right wing, drives in. Shannon will be called for a foul with 1:23 left.
Mid-American foul number 32, Alexis Shannon.
This will send Alexis Roach, a freshman, in the line for 2 big free throws. Arnold in for Evangel.
Roach at the line, shoots 2.
Austin, excuse me, back in. That one not close, off the front right side of the rim. MACU hoping for a miss to keep it a one-possession game. And it is a make. 4-point lead, 1:23 left.
You got to score on this possession if you're the Evangels.
Hensley finding Wyckoff, driving inside the free throw line to Selenia.
It's a really important basket. You had to get it back down to one possession.
Big defensive possession here. 1:02 left, down by 2. Oh, they had Moore wide open, didn't see her. Moore gets it left wing, 14 of the shot clock. And a whistle away from the ball against the Lady Evangels. It is on Ensley. And for a hold on Votes. Clock stops at 49.4 seconds. The Lady Evangels, when they get the ball, can call a timeout and advance it into the front court as we are under a minute left. Votes misses the first. It'll stay a one-possession game with a make or miss here.
I'm shocked that Evangel's not going to send an extra rebounder just in case.
Votes short. Shannon the rebound and draws the foul.
That's a good call too. You can see the Evangel fans are upset about it. They're even asking for a travel, but on the rebound, it was a complete push from the back as she tried to make a spin move to get to the ball on Alexis Shannon, but Alexis Shannon took the ball out of the hand in the air, and 2 hands were put on her back on the rebound.
It is the best case scenario for MACU, the worst case scenario, a chance to tie it at the line. Taps in for MACU. Chisholm back in for Evangel. Roach will exit after committing that critical foul.
2 big free throws at the line here.
Makes the first, nothing but net. Shannon for the tie. Got it. Evangel's not going to call timeout. Remember, they could advance the ball into the front court with a timeout. They're not going to. And as soon as they get into the front court, they do call the timeout. 40 seconds left. 21 on the shot clock. 77-77. That is November 1st, but a March-like feel here in this game between MACU and Evangel in their first ever meeting. And certainly I think, at least in the early season, 2 pretty evenly matched teams. And of course, the big what-if question for MACU is, as we have talked about, if they didn't have 3 key injuries, maybe how this game would unfolded. But Evangel, again, in their first game of the year, comes on the road against a really good team. And it has been a very close contest for most of this game. Evangel, we talked about, it's a very odd roster in which...
One of the biggest parts about going on the road is that you have to try to win the hurry plays. You have to try to hit. You have to try to win that, and you have to also try to shoot better than the other team, and that's what they're doing here today. The Evangel team is shooting at a high percentage, and they're winning all of those 50-50 plays.
Moore will be the inbounder, getting it to Chisholm. 38 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Chisholm backs up beyond the arc, straight ahead. The handoff to Moore, finding Chisholm near the far side. 10 on the shot clock for Evangel. Here's Vaught. Vaught driving in, spinning to her left. Had the shot altered, tipped around. The shot clock was reset. It comes out to Moore. Her shot no good. Vaught the offensive rebound. 15 seconds left. The shot clock is off. Timeout is called.
This MACU sidelines wanting an over-the-back call on that Vaught rebound. The only issue on that is I don't know if Sydney Wyckoff put a well enough box out on him to warrant the call.
I didn't see it. Vaught was tapping it with her momentum going back. Yeah, I think it's just Vaught has done it all for Evangel here in this final few minutes, so they can play for the final shot. 77-77. By my unofficial count, that is Evangel. They have one more left. Again, that is unofficial.
So with this last one, it's going to be almost like they've had 3 shots here to be able to take the lead in the last 25 seconds. If you tell me that, usually that team wins.
Austin will trigger it in, far side. I have a feeling number 10 is going to get a touch here. It is Chisholm driving right. Lost it, called for a double dribble. 7.7 seconds left. The freshman Chisholm called for a double dribble, driving to the hole. Lexi Vaught never touched it on that possession. MACU will call timeout, and again, they will be able to advance the ball in the front court.
The more surprising thing on that is they had a shot to give Vaught the ball off the first screen. Vaught's screen worked. The roll came out towards the corner. It wasn't a 3-point attempt, and Rachel Taft went with the ball handler for a quick second. So Vaught would have had a window to be able to take that shot. They decided it was a better look to be able to drive towards the basket there, and I guess they paid the dividend for it.
Well, I think the obvious answer is you get the ball in Alexis Shannon's hands here. What do you expect to see off this inbound from Coach Moeller?
I would be interested to see anything. Like I would be very surprised if I saw a 3-point attempt here. I really think they're going to try to get to the basket. We've had a lot of whistles today. I think if I'm Coach Moeller, I'm trying to get to the basket and hope for that whistle, and as the worst case scenario, to bail me out.
7.7 seconds left, and we're tied 77-77.
Seems like a perfect situation here. Sadly, the foul counts at 5-5 and not 7-7 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they just stop.
They just stop doing
5,
it. Yeah.
They don't put up any more. Hernandez, Salinga, Ensley, Shannon, and Wyckoff will be on the floor for MACU. Wyckoff will inbound it right in front of her bench. It comes to Ensley, down to 5, finding Hernandez, down to 3. Ensley for the win! Off the back of the rim, we'll head to overtime.
It was a nice look.
Wide open.
They say you can't hope for anything else other than that.
So we will go to overtime here. 77-77 at the Galkey Activity Center.
If the game didn't already feel like a March game, overtime is going to make it feel like even more.
This being MACU's just second game, their first to blowout win, their first time at overtime this season.
Evangel was leading by 2 scores there with under a minute left. A bunch of key turnovers there on the offensive side of the ball gave the Evangels a chance here, and they capitalized.
And it was that sequence where Evangel had votes at the line, 4-2, missed both. Shannon fouled going for the rebound. She made both.
Something we've not seen a lot today from either program.
The Lady Evangels last season did not play an overtime game. Evangel played one. It was a double overtime game against Missouri Valley, a conference game. They lost by 1 in double overtime.
The way we played that last minute of basketball reminded me a lot of the NCCAA championship game last year in the final minute. Instead of Alexa Shannon last year in that championship game, it was Jessica Fairley with a lot of late game heroics. But it reminded me a lot of that in that last minute.
If I am looking at this right, it has actually been over 2 seasons without an overtime game.
So this will be good for experience here early on in the season.
That's according to the DACStats website. You have to go back almost 3 calendar years against LSU Shreveport. A 191 win in OT, and Evangel will begin with possession of the extra period. 5 minutes on the game clock. 77-77. Moore with it for the Crusaders. Chisholm on the right wing, down low to Votes, had the mismatch, got behind Ensley, lays it in.
They made the right call there, seeing the smaller defender down low.
Ensley finds an open. Selenia cannot finish. And now Ensley commits a reach and foul 70 feet away from the basket.
I can understand that. She was trying to make a play. She did get a little bit too aggressive there, and this is just not the area where you want these fouls right now.
That is Ensley's 5th.
Votes at the line, shoots 2.
An incredible game for Ensley and her 2nd with the Lady Evangels. Had the open look at the end of regulation. Could not connect on the 3. Votes at the line for 2. And missed the first. Her recent struggles at the line continue. 4:29 left, 2-point lead in overtime.
As a team, if you're going to shoot bad from the free throw line, you got to be really thankful that the other team's helping you out doing the same.
Miss both again. Shannon the rebound. Shannon inside the arc right wing, finding Taps. Pass was behind her, but able to corral it. 15 on the shot clock. Shannon slipping it to Selinga, this time does not miss.
Great pass there by Alexis Shannon. I thought she was going to rush a shot there, and she made the beautiful decision there and threading the needle.
Yeah, I don't know how it got to Selinga. Vaught thought about it, drives in, poked loose, still on the ground. Chisholm down to her knees, keeps the dribble. It is tied up, and the ball will go to the Lady Evangels.
Possession to Mid-America.
It looked like Sydney Wyckoff was trying to get a timeout there. It works out that they have the possession arrow anyway.
79-79. 3:49 left. Lady Evangels looking to regain the lead. Ling at the free throw line. Back to the basket, turns around, hoists the jumper, too strong. Taps tried to crash in. Looked like it was hit out of bounds from behind, but it is ruled to be Evangel ball. Now the officials will get together and reverse it. And
that's the right call. That's the right call. The referee from that angle had a better angle of the rebound up top there.
That's what it looked like in real time from up here. And now Coach Lusinger wants an explanation.
She wanted the third referee to weigh in on that one. She was asking him what he saw. Once you see a call reversed, you don't usually see a re-reversal there.
Taps getting it into Shannon.
So far in this overtime period, the only person to have a shot attempt from this MACU team is Lorelei.
Shannon for 3, no good. Wyckoff battling, keeps it alive. Shannon able to gather it around the arc. Now she drives in, spins with the right hand, muscles it in.
It looked like she should have got a call there too under the basket like that. A lot of contact for a no call.
Here's Vaught, driving to the baseline right, hand off to Roach. Stops at the elbow, cutting more, back to Roach for the lead, got it! The freshman, Alexis Roach.
Shooting the ball at a very high rate.
82-81. Shannon had it knocked loose. Grabbed by Chisholm. Knocked from behind by Wyckoff. It is still loose. Comes to Moore on the scramble, and now it'll slow down by Vaught.
A scare there for Evangel, but able to capitalize on having more players on the side of the court with him.
Vaught behind the arc. 10 on the shot clock for Moore. Votes at the free throw line. Gives it back off to Moore. 5 to shoot. To the basket. Over a couple defenders. Rims out. Knocked around. And it comes to Hernandez as Votes was trying to keep it alive. MACU down by 1. 2:10 left in overtime. Beautiful feed to Selinga, who lays it in with the left hand. What a find by Wyckoff, and the Lady Evangels back ahead.
They are feeding Lorelei in this overtime period.
Under 2 to play in OT, 83-82. And a foul.
Looks like it's going to go on Sydney Wyckoff.
That's her 4th.
It seems like a weird time to call it. It kind of looked like Sydney was hooked on the play and not able to advance, and she was trying just to get off the defender.
That's what Coach Moeller's saying right now, that her arms are straight up. It'll send Sadie Chisholm to the line for 2 shots, and that one bounces out. I imagine Coach Lusinger is likely going to be stressing free throws in the upcoming practices.
There's going to be a lot of free throw practices on both sides.
6 straight misses at the line by Evangel.
Having a few times to take a multi-score lead here in the overtime period.
Hernandez on the far side. 1:38 to go in OT. Salinga falls down, slow to get to her feet. Shannon drives in. A 3-second call is called on Salinga.
It's the second time we've seen a player fall in the paint and get the 3-second call today.
It's just unfortunate, but we saw it called before, as you mentioned, Dustin.
It's the right call. You just hate to see it.
Austin back in. Had that big third quarter for Evangel, help them overcome a 10-point deficit.
Getting back to this minute mark now, you really can't have empty possessions.
1-point lead for MACU, looking for a stop. Vaught outside the elbow towards the baseline. Mismatch with Wyckoff, picks up the dribble, the block, 10 to shoot. Moore to the lane, got fouled by Hernandez.
That's a great take to the basket there. She had the outside lane. You're almost going to always get that call, like I've said a few times here today. On that one, it looked like Lexi just tried to take the ball out from under her. She wasn't going to let her try to get the shot up.
Kylie Moore, last season, shot just 61.2%, gets the roll, and it ties the game at 83 all.
And ends their 6 in a row of misses.
1:08 left. Made them both. For all the struggles, those were 2 big ones to put the Crusaders in front, 84-83. Shannon between the circles, off the taps, under a minute left in OT, finding Salinga again on the left side, and Salinga converts.
Now we're really under a minute here.
Mott picked up by Taps, 48 seconds left. Give off to Moore. Roach driving in.
Good defense
by Hernandez. It has been a tightly called game. No whistle that time. 30 seconds left. 20 on the shot clock. Shannon looking towards the sideline with the ball ahead by 1. Wonder if it'll just be a clear out for Shannon. 7 on the shot clock. Now Shannon directing traffic. Screen from Salinga. Hesitation. Left side of the basket. It's good with 10.9.
A big screen by Lorelei there, opening up the lane for Alexis Shannon that looked like it was wide open.
Timeout called by Evangel. 10.9 left. They're down by 3. They will get it in the front court off the timeout.
I would expect Evangel here to put in a lot of shooters on the court. You want to have Vogue on the court. You want to have Courtney Austin on the court. She's had a really good day shooting the ball. You're going to want to fill this lineup here with shooters if you're Evangel.
I think it's a situation where you have to go for the 3 pretty early and try for the offensive rebound because 10.9 seconds left.
Now there's been a lot of bad free throw shooting here. If you can go to the basket, get the 2, and just automatic foul, send someone to the line, that may work out for you.
And unfortunately, again, our stats monitor is down, and this is where I would really want to know the timeout situation for Evangel, because in the women's game, being able to advance it in the front court off the timeout under a minute, that changes things completely. Where maybe you can get the quick 2, even if you get the foul, and 2 shots are made, you can advance it back into the front court. We will see what Coach Lusinger draws up here. You also not only get to get in the front court, you get to choose where you inbound it from. They'll inbound it from the far side.
If you're Mid-America Christian University here, you just can't foul on a 3. You can't give that opportunity, or an and 1 attempt. Those would be drastic right here.
Vaught will inbound. Moore gets it. Under 10 seconds left. This is Arnold. Roach, no good. It comes right, though, to Austin, who lays it in. 2.7 seconds left in a timeout called by MACU. They still lead by 1. 2.7 left.
And like you were saying, Alex, it'd be really good to know how many timeouts both squads have here now. That most likely being the last one you'll hear called by Moeller if it stays in this one half.
So again, the Evangels will have it, looking to just get it inbounds, not turn it over, of course. And you still can throw it into the backcourt, even though it is advanced into the front court. And as you mentioned, this has been such a big theme tonight. Free throw shooting. Even say if Evangels get fouled, they both. It's still just a one-possession game. Will be a one-possession game right now, 87-86.
It's been a very interesting game of basketball, to say the least. The fact that we can probably count on one hand the amount of times someone's went to the line for 2 free throws and executed both today. It's been a very interesting day from both teams. I'd be interested to see what the score would be if both teams were shooting well.
What a game this has been here tonight between MACU and Evangel.
The MACU defense also picking up in this last few minutes of overtime, being very disciplined, not having as many fouls down low. They've been very, very good at executing that, and I can't imagine that's going to stop here.
Taps will inbound the MACU bench. Officials telling Evangel, you got to give the MACU players more space.
Well, a player just inserted herself into the middle of it. You see some MACU players laughing it off a little bit.
There's going to be a foul away from the ball. It was going for something. It was a really nice play drawn up.
Lorelei got wide open driving towards the basket.
Curled to the basket.
The clock didn't move at all.
That is the benefit for Evangel. No time came off the clock. Hernandez was fouled.
These are big free throws here.
I believe this is her first attempt of the season for Hernandez. She did not, I don't remember her shooting them earlier tonight again. Unfortunately, her stats are down. She did not attempt one against Manhattan Christian. It is a 2-point game after the first make. And makes both. Now, Evangel does not have a timeout. They would have called it by now. So Moore gets it in. Going to have to shoot it from half court. It is offline. And MACU is able to gut out an 89-86 overtime victory over Evangel here at the Galkey Activity Center.
You got to tip your hat off to both programs here today. Both set of girls played really hard, fought really hard. The only thing both teams you really wish you could do better at leaving this game today is at the free throw line.
A classic, an early season classic between MACU and Evangel. MACU will go to 2-0, Evangel falling to 0-1. And a game that certainly had its twists and turns, with MACU leading by as many as 10 late in the first half, led by 8 at half. And it was tied late. MACU had a chance to win regulation. Ensley got open in the corner, missed at the buzzer. And the Crusaders done in by some free throws. MACU just stuck to their plan, kept hammering to the basket with Shannon, especially Salinga in overtime. And a couple of big free throws made at the end by Hernandez as well. As MACU goes to 80, and again they win at 89-86.
A really good team win for the Evangels here today. You didn't really see one player win it for someone today. You saw a few players have hot moments, hot splurts, and they would play through that hot hand. The overtime period was also obviously, you saw Lorelei Salinga and you saw Alexis Shannon with the majority of the touches there because they were just really hot in that overtime period. We saw people like Aaliyah Inslee having a great into the first quarter, great second quarter of action, giving the Evangels what looked like their largest lead of the game.
We'll take a break. We'll see if we are able to get some final stats, but Destin and I will be back one way or the other. Great game here tonight. MACU winning it 89-86 in overtime. This is MACUathletics.com. Again, it was an 89-86 win in overtime for MACU over Evangel here tonight. A game that MACU led by 8 at half. It was tied at 77 all after regulation. As we take a look inside the numbers for tonight, as Lady Evangels shot 46% from the floor. 28 of 61 overall, 8 of 17. Very good clip from three-point range. 25 of 40 from free throws. What it ended up being for MACU tonight.
They shot it a lot better there in the overtime period to kind of help boost that number, it felt like.
Evangel shot 44.8% from the floor, 40% from three, 12 of 30. At the free throw line, though, they were an even 50%, 14 of 28. So MACU ends up being plus 11 in makes, plus 12 in attempts at the free throw line here tonight. Rebounds was in favor, or excuse me, slightly in favor of Evangel, 45 to 42. 15 offensive rebounds for Evangel and 13 for MACU here tonight. Turnovers, both teams about even, 22 for MACU, 23 for Evangel on the night. Individual scores, it was Lexi Vaught, no surprise